yeah, let me introduce us. For now, it's I'm Jerry, and this is Mark, and we are from our amazing animal world. We're here to show you some cool animals again. So we've been on before. It was the summer, wasn't it? Quite a while ago.
Yeah, this year just is a bit of a blur. I'm not
yeah, we've done so many things. It feels like 10 years.
I do remember being told that the word that we had for skunk was wrong.
Yes, I've got both of them now.
Okay.
So
yeah, our animals are very special because they're rescue animals. The two of us live in an old church, and we live with over 100 rescue animals. The animals come from all different types of backgrounds, so we don't rescue animals that need to be released back into the wild, like squirrels and English hedgehogs and that sort of thing. What we do is actually we take on pets that people can't look after anymore.
Speak up, Mark.
Oh, sorry. We look after pets.
That's new for you. You're never quiet.
Yeah, you normally tell me to be quiet. So yeah, the animals that we rescue aren't the type of animals that are released back into the wild. What we do, we like to offer a home to animals that people have had as pets and can no longer look after, or they've been abused or mistreated, and we like to give them a forever home. So we're not a sanctuary whereby we take in animals and then find new homes for them or release them. What we do is we bring the animals in and we keep them and we offer them a forever home.
Yes, that's what we
do. I hope you can hear that.
Yes. So we doubled the amount of people already. Gosh, it's fast.
Probably
we haven't even shown an
Probably because we were quiet and no one can hear us. Now they can hear us, they'll be leaving in their droves.
So once we're live now, so please let us know if you've got any comments or any questions. I've got it open here, the comments, so I can read out all your messages. Alright?
Shall we start?
So we start.
Yeah.
Go on.
We're going to start with one of our endangered species. And an endangered species means, you can say that because I'm kind of...
Yeah, so endangered species is, there's not many left in the wild of them anymore, sadly. Luckily of this species, there's loads of them as pets, but not that many as in the wild. This is Scylla.
Scylla is a chinchilla. They normally live in South America, very, very high up in the mountains, in the Andes. In the wild, there's not, as Jerry said, then there's not that many left. They used to be hunted for their fur. It takes about 100 to 150 of these guys to make one coat, and we think the fur looks way better on them. So Scylla is, what's she now? She's about 14 now. She was the first chinchilla we ever rescued. And they're amazing animals. We don't kind of personally feel like they're the best pets because they are quite needy. They need a very large space to live in. They love to live in groups, but one of the hardest things to do with a chinchilla is introduce other chinchillas into the group. So if you've got one single chinchilla, it's very hard to get them settled into a new group. They can be quite mean to each other.
Yes.
And they can jump 6 feet, which is onto the shoulder of an average adult. And they can live for about 20 years, so it's a long time. It's a huge commitment. But they're all the negatives. The plus sides are they are an amazing animal, and they do end up in rescue quite a bit, don't they?
They do. Sorry, while you're doing, I can't see my messages on there, so I need to check my phone. And still, quite a few people saying that it's quiet.
Oh.
That we need to speak up.
I'm going to speak. I'm going to scare the animals, but I will speak as loud as I can.
Just some people saying hi. So David Thomas from Zach and Henry and Hi Wickham were saying hi. Hi from me, which is Jess, and is it Levi you say? Yeah, Levi.
Levi?
Yeah. Yvonne, our friend, is here as well.
Excellent.
The Robertsons, of course, Ellie, and
I don't know why Scylla the chinchilla is trying to show you her butt. I'm going to try and turn around so you can see her gorgeous face. So yeah, as I say, the main issue with these guys is the length of time they're going to live for. It's a very, very, very big commitment. Having said that, obviously you've got a pet for a long, long time, which is lovely. So yeah, we've got 9 chinchillas. We have one group of 6, which is 5 girls and 1 neutered boy, and then 3 boys.
Yes, I just saw Mendy coming online as well, our friends, and some kids already saying that they want a chinchilla as well. And the great thing is as well, because I need to do some names of the animals in Spanish and French, and chinchilla is easy because it's exactly the same in Spanish and French as well. So
Well, it's just
it's
chinchilla.
already my favorite animal in French and in Spanish.
What's it in Dutch?
In Dutch, it's the same as well actually.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, it's just international animal. Let me see. Chloe, I see, has just come. Claire's kids already asked if they want a chinchilla. Emma is saying hi to Scylla. What a beautiful animal, isn't she? Beautiful.
I do have to say though
Gorgeous.
that sorry, Scylla, I just knocked the lovely platform you're on. Scylla is remarkably calm. They're not quite usually as calm as Scylla sitting here all lovely and calm. She's very used to us and noise and animals and smells, so she's just like, yeah, whatever, get on with it. I'm just going to sit here and have a relax. But chinchillas tend to be very kind of ditzy. They're very sort of skittish and jumping around. They sort of bounce around the place, don't they? Like bunnies. They're actually related to guinea pigs, but I think they're very like our squirrels. They're like a fat squirrel because they love jumping and they're very fast. Her favourite thing is to sit on my shoulder, and she can just sit there, and she likes to watch a little bit of telly. She's got a lovely boyfriend that she cuddles up to as well. And yeah, she has a really nice life, doesn't she?
Told them about the big whiskers as well.
No, so they have got very large whiskers.
Massive whiskers,
And
because their
big
eyesight
ears.
is not very good, is it?
No, their eyesight is very poor. They are nocturnal, but they don't really ever seem to go into a deep sleep. They're kind of like old people, aren't they? They're nappers. Lots of
Yes.
napping. Like,
Lovely.
yeah.
Like me.
Like you.
I don't
Jerry's a
nap
napper.
much.
Oh, you can be talking deep in conversation to Jerry, and you just see the eyes close, and he's gone for a few minutes.
I can do lots of things in my sleep.
Can talk.
I could sleep just now, basically, and do this.
I think she's a bit freaked out by my Santa hat.
Yes. Scylla's our first chinchilla as well, did you say that?
She is our first chinchilla.
Yes.
And she's about 14. She's going to be 15 next year now. So
Yes.
yeah, she's pretty old, but oh, you wouldn't know it if you saw her next to the young one. She's just as
Yeah, it's such a shame you can't stroke her, because they are so super soft. Lots of children always say it's like touching a cloud.
They're just amazingly soft.
Yeah.
They're so soft, and their fur is so dense that they can't get fleas, which is a massive plus for pet
Yeah,
owners.
that's the best thing for us as well, that they can't have fleas, because we got so many animals, so that's one animal to kind of don't have to worry about.
Yeah, they're honestly beautiful, beautiful animals. Shall I get the next one ready? Do you want
Yes.
to finish talking about
Alright,
the
so Scylla is one of our softest animals. We're going to get a bit of a grumpy one out now.
Me.
And yeah, another grumpy one
I
other than
know.
Mark. And the next one is quite grumpy because it's nocturnal. So that means that they normally don't wake up in the day. She normally wakes up about 9-10 o'clock at night, and then will be awake all night, and then early in the morning she'll go to sleep. And because he's a bit grumpy, she'll go in a ball like this. So not stressed, because Heidi is very well used to being handled. She's just not very happy that we do it in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we've just basically just woken her up, and I know when I wake up in the mornings, when the alarm goes off, if I could roll into a spiky ball, I probably would.
Yes.
No, she's just a bit of an old grump, isn't she?
Yeah, she hates everyone, which is quite normal for hedgehogs as well. And so she's in a ball, and you can just about see maybe a little bit of pink of her nose in there in the middle. But she will come out eventually. We'll just put her down like that and give her a bit of time to wake up.
She's an African pygmy hedgehog, so she's definitely not an English hedgehog. They can't be kept as pets, and they would all obviously be in hibernation now as well. The African pygmy ones can be kept as pets. It's another one we wouldn't really recommend. There are so many in rescue. They're an animal that looks very attractive on social media, isn't it? It's one that people post beautiful photos of. There's lots of TV ads with the hedgehogs in as well. And then when people get them home, they realise they're really spiky, very unfriendly, very smelly, very bitey, and so subsequently they do end up a lot in rescue. So it is one of the ones we try and put people off, don't we?
Just need to make sure that she doesn't fall off now.
Right,
So it's right, yeah, so you can just see her nose coming out. So come out a bit quicker now, once she's kind of now been out for a bit. So yeah.
You didn't pick one of the most sociable animals there, did
I
you?
didn't choose them. Anna chose
Was
them.
that Veronique picking a grumpy hedgehog? I could have picked a far more sociable animal.
And the nice thing was actually, after the last time we were live here, we've seen quite a few of the Kidslingo family on encounters somewhere, and we've seen them here as well.
What's this in French? I know in Dutch. In Dutch, it's egeltje.
Yes, in Dutch it's egeltje.
I lived in Amsterdam for 5 years.
The
I
only
picked
word.
up one word. Hedgehog, really useful in the middle of Amsterdam.
Yes. So in French it's hérisson. I think.
Bless you.
Yes. And in Spanish it's erizo.
Well, that's quite chorizo.
Erizo.
Oh. You said chorizo.
There you know.
I'm sure that's something else.
I'm
She's
sure.
having a little look now at you, and she's kind of thinking, is it her best side?
And it is her best side. Look at her cute face.
You can see she's much lighter than the English hedgehogs. And these guys aren't endangered. The English hedgehogs, I'm sure a lot of you know, are in a lot of trouble now. The numbers are very, very, very low. The African pygmy hedgehogs aren't at risk at all. They're much, much smaller than the English ones. They're much lighter. And they don't have fleas. Again,
No.
massive plus side. They do smell though. I don't really have a sense of smell, but I am told they stink.
Yeah, they're really, really smelly. It's mostly their poo actually. It's not so, as much their body.
Yeah, sorry. It's not them personally.
There's a really disgusting, sticky, black poo they have.
Well, what
and
she
the
likes
nice-
to do, she has quite a large wheel, and it's kind of like a UFO wheel, isn't it? It's not like an upright one because it's quite bad for their backs. It's at an angle. So when she's running on her wheel, her poo is literally just flicking, which isn't. I have to say, it's not that great, is it? It's not great.
No,
I'm not
so
gonna lie.
yeah, she flicks her poo everywhere. So every morning we wake up with our hedgehog to a really an enclosure
Lot of cleaning.
full of poo. It's disgusting. I
Lot of
haven't seen any comments actually for a while, so please let us know.
Yeah.
If you got any questions or you want to know something.
Or if you.
I do see lots of people kind of watching us. I get notifications of that. I'm not sure if my notifications for messages are working. So please say hi or say something. Ask some questions if you got any questions about the animals.
Yeah.
So we've got some new people coming as well. So just a quick recap that my name is Jerry. This is Mark. We are from Our Amazing Animal World here to show you some really cool animals.
And they're all rescue animals.
Yes, so they're rescue animals. You need to speak up.
Sorry,
Mark is very loud normally, and he's suddenly
well,
really
because
quiet
there's
today.
a very shy animal in front of me, I don't really want to shout.
Yeah, well, luckily our animals are a bit shy, maybe, but they're not. They're used to. Let me refresh because there's lots of comments, Anna saying.
Oh.
So yeah, they're used to quite a few noise and everything. So. Oh yes, here I've got loads. So what does he eat?
Oh, so Heidi loves mealworms, earthworms, waxworms. I think you see a theme here, lots of worms. She sometimes eats some boiled chicken and some scrambled egg. Her favourite thing is definitely worms.
Yes, mealworms she loves. And that's, together with cat food, that is what gives her the nasty poo. Because, you know, cat poo is not very
Yeah,
nice
if you've
either.
ever smelt a cat litter tray, well, think of that times by a bit.
Yes. Someone is asking, let me see. Diane is asking, how did we get her in our care?
Heidi, how did Heidi come in?
Well, Heidi just came from someone that had her as a pet, because the kids had seen all these lovely videos about hedgehogs. And then they had one, and they got bored of her quite quickly because of all the cleaning and her being so grumpy. So it's not like a nice dog or cat to sit with you. The kids weren't really interested anymore. What she's doing at the moment as well is very interesting actually. So she's anointing. So there's because we use this well, it's more towel blanket kind of thing quite often, and there's some animals walking over it. She's smelling some animals
She's
on
actually
there.
biting it.
Yes. So what she does, she bites and sucks it a bit to get the smell out of the towel, and then she'll make a paste in her mouth.
It's a bit like spit, isn't it?
Yes,
Not great.
and then she'll lick that over her spines, and she'll do that so she's kind of not smelling like a hedgehog anymore, but she'll smell. She's camouflaging her smell basically. Hopefully, the predators don't smell her then.
Yeah, because if you smell like your predator, they're probably going to leave you alone.
Yes.
But you can't eat the towel, Heidi. That's not so great, my love. Hey?
So yeah, and that's the only thing with Heidi when we take her to an encounter as well. She's not a biter, but what she does is this bite sucking, and
She's like a little vampire.
yes.
Hey?
So that's not very good. Right, let me just allow this.
Is that nice? Oh, here she goes. So you can see now
Yes.
she's going to. So she makes like a little salivary paste in her mouth, and then she sort of spits it back out onto her body, so that smell's going to be all over her. Sounds
Yes.
pretty gross, but it's a really good way of them avoiding getting eaten in the wild. Hey mate, you good girl? She's like a little diva princess.
How old is she? Will asked that.
She's just over 2.
She's about 2 years old. Yes.
Yeah, and they generally live. Well, one of ours died quite recently from old age, and he was 5.5, which was a really good age, wasn't it? So
Yes.
yeah, I think if you reckon on about 4 or 5, that's a really good age for a hedgehog. They don't seem to get lots of illnesses though, do they? There's not loads of illnesses with hedgehogs. It
Well,
tends
we
to be,
haven't. No, we've been quite
tends to
lucky.
be like little growths.
The hedgehogs we had all died kind of old age, didn't they?
Yeah.
Look, there she goes again. So she's licking the smell of the blanket all over herself. It's a little bit disgusting, and I wouldn't want to lick those squirrels either.
It's not that different to when if anyone's got a dog and they've rolled in the fox poo and all of that because they want to get the smell all over them. It's a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of love on the messages as well.
A lot of love for Heidi. Or
for
me?
Heidi.
Oh, not for me.
For Heidi, yes.
Not for me. That's a shame.
Uh,
I'll live.
no, Heidi is
I'm
very,
gonna
very
pop
sweet.
Heidi.
She's very pretty.
There she goes. She's very awake now. She'd be very flattered, guys.
Yes, she's normally not
Is it?
this awake. It's,
No.
it's a bit late as well. It's kind of dark,
Normally,
getting
when
dark
I
outside.
want to
so-
spend time with her, she normally just sort of go away and goes to sleep. So yeah, this is very good for her. Don't know if that's good. Right, Miss Pooh, here you go. That's a good girl. I don't really want to take the blanket with you. No.
Right, so do hedgehogs have babies? Do they have spines when they're born? From Essie and Ren in Selby.
They do.
Yes, though they are.
very
They do
soft
have
spines,
babies,
aren't
but they don't have. No, they don't have spines when they're born. Actually, well, they have and they haven't. So what happens?
that would be very painful coming out.
Yeah. So what they do, the hedgehog babies, their spines, their quills are just under the surface of their skin, and then within the first couple of hours of them being born, after they're born, then they come through the skin. So the first couple of hours of hedgehog life is not very nice because all the spines will come through the skin. So it's a bit painful, but luckily they're so young, so they don't really remember
Otherwise,
it.
it'd be like giving birth to a conker.
Otherwise, yeah, that's the other thing. Otherwise, mum's side wouldn't be very nice.
No, she would need to get very drunk to give birth to a
Thing is,
baby.
with quills, that someone's got to take the pain at some point.
Yeah. Don't think I'd want it.
So we put this away.
So, I'm gonna... Okay.
I'll take her. Right. Next animal. And sorry, I'm constantly refreshing here because for some reason my comments disappear every time, so I have to go in and out of on the laptop and the thingy. How long do they live? So the hedgehogs live about 5 years roughly, isn't
Yeah,
it?
4 to 5.
Yeah.
It's a very long... it's a very good age.
And they are solitary as well, yes.
Yeah, they must.
They don't really like
must
living with
They
others.
only come together to make babies.
Yes.
So yeah, they would fight to the death, I think. just definitely a no-no.
Yes, it's not a good idea to have.
Would you like to show the next one? Or?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just sorting out comments because it's not really working.
So this one is Myrtle, and Myrtle is one of our reptiles. She's a crested gecko, and she is amazing. She doesn't have anything spiky on her. She's very, very, very soft, almost spongy-like, I think.
Yes.
Amazing climbers. I was just gonna show you if I can on here.
The nice thing is as well, Mark gets that, is that with geckos, in English and Spanish, it's exactly the same again, just as the chinchilla. So, gecko in French and gecko in Spanish. Crested, I'm not really sure about, but gecko is the main thing.
And I imagine there's quite a lot of geckos in Spain.
And yeah, and France as well. They have
So
got their own geckos.
Pretty amazing at climbing. A little bit like Spider-Man.
Oh, Will says he's got a crested gecko.
Oh, they're amazing
Cool.
animals. I have to say, we've been rescuing animals for a long time now, and we've only ever had 2 crested geckos. So I don't think they're one of the most common ones that end up in rescue. Lots and lots of leopard geckos. Very rarely.
Leopard gecko is the more
very rarely.
popular option.
Very rare that we get a crested gecko, but then I think these are a lot cheaper to look after, so maybe that comes into it, or maybe they're just more expensive to buy. I don't know.
They did think they were extinct actually. So they live in South Caledonia, an island by Australia in the Pacific Ocean, and they didn't think there were any left anymore. But luckily, was it the 90s? I want to say 90s.
In the 90s, yeah, they found them off of an island. And they're back. So they thought they were extinct in the wild, not obviously in captivity.
No,
They were still in zoos and pet shops and everything, but they didn't think they were still in the wild. But yes, they are. And they're doing quite well. The numbers are rising. What I love about them is they don't have any eyelids. So they have to lick their eyes to clean them, which I think is just spectacular, and I wish I could do that. And I just think she's beautiful. What do you guys think? Would you be brave enough to
she's
have...
about 2. Will told us last time. Yeah, remember someone had a gecko. And who was it asking for? David's asking, can they do any tricks? And I think that what you're saying is a trick, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean,
licking the eyes, climbing the walls.
we never teach any tricks as a rule, but animals have obviously got their own little bag of tricks. So yeah, she can lick her eyes, she can climb glass. And they're amazing jumpers. Myrtle won't jump because she's so relaxed and so used to us and our hands that she hasn't got anything to fear. So she doesn't really have any reasons to jump. She'll probably jump now just to prove me wrong. But no, she just likes to sit and watch and investigate. She loves finding a little dark, damp area. So her enclosure is all plants and moss. I have to spritz it quite a lot in the day. And then food-wise, she has some live food, which is like hoppers, and they're like a jumpy bug. And she also has like a fruit paste, which is like a powder that you mix with water, and then she licks that. So she has that at night. That's when she's most active, at night. What do you think, guys? Is she cute? I think she's beautiful.
Angela's asking, how do you come in contact with people that have these animals?
Well, people always contact us. We've had everything from phone calls in the middle of the night to boxes left on our doorstep to friends of friends of friends of friends kind of thing. We started very ordinary, just with rescuing a dog and a cat and that kind of thing, and it just kind of went nuts. I think because we like animals that have issues. We don't have a lot of animals that are just normal.
No.
So, like, if someone says that there's this animal that's biting and they can't seem to relate to, I love the challenge of trying to get an animal to be happy. That's where I get my pleasure from. And yeah, sometimes it takes years. We've got a cockatoo that it's taken about 3 years to settle, and I think it's going to take a lot longer as well. Some animals, it can take a long time to build up trust where they've been very mistreated or had things, they've been hit or kicked or something. So yeah, it can take a lot of bites, a lot of plasters, but it's very rewarding.
Yes. So Alison was eating, what does it eat? You did say, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's live food and like a paste mixture.
Yes. Sorry, just...
He's always on his phone anyway, so this is nothing new for him.
I'm just trying to get your comments up, because I see all these comments that I want to read out.
Mainly I'm just covering all the bases. And
you know who's online as well? Frank and Beth, they were here. When were they here? It was the last weekend.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast
Mark
yesterday.
is really old.
I'm like,
and he, to be honest, he doesn't remember names. That's why he calls everyone
no,
Brian.
faces, yeah, I call everyone Brian. They call me Dementia Doris.
How rude.
I can't remember.
I remember you. Nice that you're here. I'll try to get your photo up so Mark will remember you.
I do remember everybody, but I can't suddenly remember a day last week.
Oh, wasn't that? See, Mark is really, really old.
Moving on. I am really old.
Let's see some snakes, does Sabrina say. We're gonna do some snake, a snake later. Loving what you do. I see here. Crickets, yes. Got it. Very cute. Kids want you to adopt them.
Well,
alright, David.
We do hear that a lot. I think they would change their mind when they come and clean up the poo and that kind of thing. Yeah. Shall I get... I'm going to get this one out.
So we do, yes.
Sitting here.
So next one is...
It's like a snake, whoever wanted to meet the
Sabrina,
snake.
yeah.
Sabrina, I think this one is very like a snake with legs. This is Barry, and Barry is a blue-tongued skink. So you'll see he's very snake-like, but he does have these little legs. He's probably our laziest animal after Jerry. He's about... How old was...
He's about 2 years, 2.5 years now, roughly.
He only came this year, so it's been quite a learning curve for us because we've never had. Sorry, this hat is very itchy. We've never had a blue-tongued skink before, so it was a big learning curve for us. He came to us because the lady was moving house and she had two, and she could only take one with her. So she picked her favourite. She didn't say that. So Barry came to us. And he's just lovely, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really nice. At the moment, he's shedding his skin as well. He's not rotting his skin off, Sabrina.
Rotting? Rotting? No.
No, he's shedding his skin. So he's getting a nice new skin.
Or were you talking about me? Because I think my skin might be rotting off. I'm very old. I'm like 120 or something. Yeah, he's... Absolutely. Sorry, I'm not doing very well camera-wise.
Yeah, so normally he's really shiny, but he's a bit matte now.
He's
his old skin
trying to get all his skin
come off.
And as the name would suggest, he does have a blue tongue. I don't know.
I don't think they can hear that.
Let me see. Has got a blue tongue. I don't know if he's going to show you. Are you going to show them your blue tongue, baby? What's wrong?
I was just going to say he's a very
Come on then.
lazy animal, but he suddenly wakes up.
Well, he loves my neck. He loves just cuddling into the neck. He loves my hood. A lot of animals love a hood. He likes to just, as you can see,
Just loves to lay
in the hood. So he's got a blue tongue because in the wild he has not really got a lot of defences. He's not got big claws, not got big teeth. He's incredibly slow. He's kind of my speed, which is kind of rubbish.
Very slow.
Rubbish speed. So in the wild, the blue tongue with the pink mouth would indicate that he's venomous. So other predators would then leave him alone. He isn't venomous at all, but what he wants to do is pretend he's venomous. That way, he gets left alone, hopefully. Because if an animal wanted to attack him, there's not a great deal he's going to be able to do about it.
So his shedding is not in one bit, just like the snakes, but in little bits it comes off.
And it is really little bits, isn't it? It's almost like, almost a little bit like human skin when we've been sunburnt and we're peeling, and it comes off in like little little bits. It's quite like that. It's the smallest bits I've seen on a reptile. You're gonna.
Jack wants to know what he eats.
So he's
It's an omnivore.
It's an omnivore.
So,
I had to think about what the word was then. So he eats. I'm going to see. Normally, if I stroke his head, he'll poke his tongue out at me. I think he looks like a velociraptor. Any of you watch Jurassic Park? Are you going to show them your beautiful tongue, man?
He's very stubborn today. Normally, he always sticks his tongue out. And he's like, I'm not going to get it out.
Hello. He's my handsome boy. Look at how handsome he is.
Yeah, so he's a very special. I need to tell the French and Spanish words actually. Well, so blue tongue skink was a bit of a mouthful, so we kept it easy and did lizard. So lizard in French, in France they call it lizard. In French is lézard, and in Spanish is legato.
Tongue came out. I don't know if you saw that. It was so fast.
Might come again. Also, I need to tell you about the cool colouring activity sheets they've got for you, and there's in the comments there's a link to that as well.
I'd like to colour them in.
They had that last time as well. It's, very nice. I looked at them.
Would anyone watching be brave enough to hold him? I can assure you, he is lovely.
Well, there's some people watching that have already met him.
I would say of all the animals we've ever adopted, he's probably one of the calmest, don't you think?
Yes. David is asking, can skinks kill people? No, they're too nice.
No, he's not a cockatoo. A cockatoo could probably kill someone, I think, if he wanted to. He can be quite nasty when he wants to. But no, skinks are lovely. Well, I'm saying that he's the only one I've ever met. And he is absolutely, he's just so chilled. And he just spends most of his time kind of moving around his enclosure and just chilling really. He sort of chills in the warm bit and then he goes up the cooler end and he's got like a little pool in there which he can curl up in, and which he's in quite a lot at the moment because he's trying to get his skin off. But if you go to we've got a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and we put lots of photos of their enclosures on there. So if you are interested in what they live in and their kind of daily stuff, we do put a lot of stuff on our social media.
Yeah, lots of people saying they'd be brave enough to hold him. And Becky is saying he's very handsome. He is very handsome.
He is
very, I guess.
He is sick. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to say that about me.
And how long is he? Is Louise asking?
I would say he is about 60 centimetres with his tail.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say 40 centimetres.
Okay. Well, I've probably been lied to about.
Let's have a look. We've got a ruler here. Let's measure him live.
Well, careful that you don't upset him. So he's about
50 centimetres.
So I was
in the middle.
Close.
In the middle.
I was pretty close. I think he's stunning. Yeah. And I'm glad that a lot of people like him.
And he's super friendly as well.
Hey, baby. Hello. You can't.
Does he bite or have teeth? Joanne is asking.
He's got more like a beak, I would say. Not teeth. It's like a serrated gum. And no, the only thing he did a little bit when he arrived, obviously it was a new environment, a new enclosure, which for a reptile can be quite stressful. They like to protect their environment, which is why they live on their own as well. And he was quite defensive about his new environment, and so if I put my hands in to feed him or touch him and check him, he would hiss at me a little bit. And that lasted, I would say, a few weeks. And then once he realised that we were friendly, I then got him out and had some cuddles, and then it all stopped.
Yes.
So we always let them settle for a little bit first. They've got to get used to new noises, new smells, movement, my awful voice.
Yeah, and he is Barry, and he's a blue-tongued skink. So they normally come from Australia, but he's an Irian Jaya blue-tongued skink, so he's from Indonesia.
And he's in my hood.
Very special, yeah, he's in his hood. How old is he?
If you ever get an animal, guys, the biggest, best advice I can ever give you is get a hoodie. Animals love
Most animals
hoods. I've always got an animal in my hood.
Yes.
And it's great because then they get used to your smell and they get used to your voice. And yeah, hoods are brilliant.
So Kelly is asking how old he's. So he's about 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
And they live quite a long time, for about 30 years. Or something, I think.
Roughly around 20.
Oh,
It
20.
can be longer.
Yeah.
All depends. With rescue animals, we're never really sure what their diet and care has been before. We always take the animal to a vet and have them checked over. But a lot of animals are prey animals, so they will hide a lot of things. So you can't always tell what underlying problems there are. So
Yes.
yeah, a well looked after skink is a long time.
Yes. Sabrina is saying, don't leave the lizard, but we're going to the snake. So I think you don't mind leaving the lizard.
I've got to hook him out of my hood first.
You need some help?
I know you love it in there, baby. I know.
Yeah, so we got one more reptile, and then we've got a couple of
Okay, go on.
crazy furries left.
Yeah, and they are pretty crazy.
Ellie is saying he's her favourite. He is.
Ellie,
You haven't even met him yet,
Ellie
have you,
Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
hello,
not sure if you.
Ellie.
Oh, you came here. Of
Ellie's one
course.
of my favourite. Bonnie.
Our amazing animal world needs to sell their hoodies. We've got lovely new hoodies finally.
Yeah.
Look. Oh, very pleased.
Loving the
My-
unloved.
My hoodie was falling apart.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm like kicking the TV.
Will says his gecko likes his shoulder as well.
Yeah, they do. Do you know what it is? I think is generally people's necks are very, very warm, and especially if you've got long hair. I don't, and Jerry has none. But an animal,
Can't see it,
a lot of animals will love that kind of
Looks like our hair.
darkness and the warmth. They love that. Rats especially, and the mice, they love sleeping in my hoods if I'm working on the computer or something. The parrot loves it up there. I'm
Yeah.
never gonna, and luckily I can't smell my hood. I think it's
Angela's-
probably like a black hole of stinkiness.
Angela's checking our Instagram while watching this double the cuteness. So yeah, we're on Instagram,
Yeah.
on Facebook, TikTok.
And actually,
we started, didn't we?
oh yeah, we're on
Just
TikTok, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a bit old for TikTok by about 400 years, I think.
Oh, and your sister is in the case with selling the hoodies. Stop there. I know you've got some time on your hands.
Whoever
at
it
the
was that
moment.
said they were looking at our Instagram.
Angela.
I actually posted in the stories on Instagram today a little tour of part of HQ, so you can
Yes.
see loads of
Because
enclosures.
it is a bit of a crazy house here.
Yes, it's bonkers. Okay, is this Harry?
Yes, we got Harry here.
Do you want to talk
And,
about
Bonnie's
Harry?
trying to get out.
Yeah, that's my princess there. Hello, Bon Bon.
So Harry is a royal python, or
Would
a
you like
piton,
to?
or piton in Spanish and France as well. They're actually
Piton.
quite similar. He is one of our youngest ones. He's about. Can you do the comments then? He's
okay.
about 4 years old now, I believe. And they live to about 20-25 years.
Yeah, he's
Royal
a-
pythons are really lovely, calm snakes. The only thing is they're quite difficult shedders and eaters. So royal pythons come from Africa. He's hiding his head. Oh, there.
Yeah, he is quite young. Harry was pretty healthy. Oh no, Harry wasn't healthy when he arrived.
He was healthy, yeah.
No, he had
just
the
had a
whole
thing with
eye-
his eye at the
the whole eye
moment.
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
It's a
some
bit of a
eye
difficult
issues.
shed.
Yeah, he had a very difficult shed, and then his eye sort of became infected, didn't it? And had to have some
Yes.
vet care. Shedding is quite an issue with some reptiles. We've had it before, haven't we? It's always even if your snake or lizard has always shed brilliantly in the past. Always check them because one of our geckos she arrived with a very swollen eye, and it was a huge infection, but it actually started, the vet believed, from probably a shed that just didn't clear. And the problem is a lot of people keep their animals in very pretty enclosures, but maybe not a lot of things for them to rub against and get all that annoying skin off. Obviously in the wild they'll have stones and trees and branches. In captivity, if you haven't got all that stuff in there, you need to help them trying to, like, you know, finish me off here, I think.
Will is asking, what heat
Another
lamp would you
headlamp.
recommend for my gecko? We have, if animals don't need special lighting, but just heat, we just get really cheap heat lamps from Pets at Home, isn't it? They're
Yeah, because
£4.50.
we've bought the really expensive ones, and then when they blow, it's like, oh, whoa, okay, needs a mortgage.
Yeah, just a cheap Pets at Home heat lamps we use for, like, what I say, the animals that don't need special lighting, just need the heat.
Yeah.
So our geckos, snakes as well.
I think the most important thing is always to give them enough space so that they don't just have the heat, though, the lizards, because they do like to cool off as well. So
Yes.
you'll find that the lizard will. Some people put the heat and everything right in the middle, and then the whole viv is very hot. And then if they do get overheated or a bit dehydrated, they haven't got anywhere to kind of go and cool down. And we all like to cool down, and they're exactly the same. So you do have. It's better to put all the heat and light up one end, so that they've got the other end to maybe go and cool down if they need to.
Yeah, Judy has run away, by the way.
From me. Yeah.
Essie wants to ask, why does the snake got those patterns on its skin? So it's to camouflage, basically. So in the grasses where they live, kind of in Africa, it's kind of all the patterns. On in your hoodie again.
In the hood.
Yeah, so basically to camouflage. It's lovely black and gold, which is also why lots of royals in Africa used to use them as accessories, as like necklaces and bracelets. Cleopatra did, the Egyptian queen. And
yeah, the rest of the world calls
that's
them
where I get the name from.
Don't
Yeah, in America they call them ball pythons because when they're quite scared, they're rolling a ball with the head in the middle.
Yeah.
They do eat mice, Sabrina. You're right.
They do. Royal pythons, or ball pythons as they're also known, they're very fussy eaters. So if you do have one and it skips the odd week of food, don't panic. It's very normal. They are very fussy eaters. They're not like me. They're not going to stuff every meal down. They are quite fussy, aren't they? We've got a very fussy one called William, who will only eat yellow food. So yeah, there you go.
Yes.
This is, let me get him a little bit closer. Beautiful Harry. He's our little prince.
Snakes are such lovely pets to have as well.
They really are, Jerry. And if you're a little bit nervous, don't be put off. Jerry, it took him 7 months. The very first snake we rescued was called Barbie, and she was like a worm. She was so small, and Jerry had to drive home in a separate car.
Yes.
It took Jerry quite a long time to be brave enough to hold one. So we all need to start somewhere. So if you've never held one and you're a bit scared of them, meet a nice one.
Yeah,
But
CJ
then-
and Oscar love his colourings as well.
Beautiful.
Oscar, we're going to have an animal soon. That's
Called
gonna have the
Oscar.
same name as you.
Yeah.
I think it's time for Oscar actually.
Okay.
Yeah? Excellent. Will it get bigger when he's older? Yes. So he's
still
not
quite
fully
small.
grown.
Yeah.
He gets a bit.
I would say they normally grow to about a metre and a half, but they get much thicker. Normally quite thick and strong.
Yeah, they don't get very long.
And most people
one
are
of the
scared
small ones.
of this end. I would be way more scared of the other end. What comes out the other end is pretty disgusting.
Right. So next animal is a moufette or putois in French,
A
and
moufette.
mofita
I'm not being funny, but if
in
you're calling it
Spanish,
a moufat, I think you're probably talking about me.
and it's called skunk in English. And his name is Oscar. Oscar is really lovely. He is quite smelly, but not as smelly as most people think. And that we're quite lucky as well, because Oscar is, well, his glands. Ooh, it's moving the camera a bit. So normally skunks are known for spraying, of course, for the horrible skunk spray. But Oscar can't spray anymore because they've got taken the glands out. It's something they're not allowed to do here in England anymore. But officially, Oscar is from Northern Ireland, where they are still allowed to do it.
Here he is.
There he is. He's also a very special skunk. So he's a champagne skunk. Sorry.
He is a champagne skunk.
So a lovely, nice colour.
Going to come up to the camera with him. There he is. You'll notice he's got very long claws. That's for digging. They could be trimmed a little bit, but he absolutely hates it. It's the only time he's ever really grumpy. So we only do it when we really, really, really have to. There, you can see him a bit better like that. He looks a little bit like a sloth today. So Oscar was needed to be oh my gosh! He needed to be adopted because he was attacking his owner. He was constantly very aggressive, very nasty, quite feral in fact, and attacking his owner constantly. Just was in the wrong environment basically.
Yes.
He's now probably the loveliest animal I think we've ever had, isn't he?
Yeah, he is really, really lovely. Can I say as well, Ellie, thank you for answering so many questions in the comments, because I'm trying to keep up, but it's just all crashing in
Ellie,
the comments.
he's rubbish.
So she's our PA
Rubbish.
today, Ellie.
Ellie, come and work for me because he could
See
go.
us tonight.
He could go.
Thanks, Ellie. What did you say? Sorry.
He does. A lot of people say that he does smell, even though
Yeah,
he
he
can't
does.
do. He can't do the big smell. But he's still.
But the small smells are just as bad almost sometimes.
Well, he's not as bad as you. In the wild, they only live to about 3 years. They're very, very pretty. They're a bit like Love Island, if any of the parents are watching. They're very pretty, but they're not that bright. So they do tend to walk in front of cars and bears and get eaten. So they don't live long in the wild, but in captivity they can live up to about 10. And he is 3.5 at the moment. So lucky for us, he's going to live hopefully for a long time. He's a little bit overweight at the moment, aren't we all, after this year? But yeah,
every year for me.
Well, I didn't like to say anything. But he's on a bit of a diet at the moment. But we like to spoil him because we just didn't think he probably had the best past. So
Yeah.
we like to spoil him. His favourite thing is laying on the sofa and watching Strictly Come Dancing.
He loves cuddling, and you can see as well he's got quite sleepy eyes because he's a nocturnal animal as well. So normally he'd be
I'm going to try and
asleep
show
now.
them again.
He probably normally wakes up a little bit to see if there's any food yet. He doesn't get any bigger, so he's fully grown.
Thank gosh, because he's
Yes.
really heavy.
And he's an omnivore. Oh, it's JJ answering all the questions. Thanks,
Ah.
JJ.
Yeah, he's an omnivore. So his favourite thing is an omelette. But he loves chicken and some ferret food.
Bugs every day he'll get.
Bugs, lots of
sometimes-
vegetables. Has the odd bit of fruit, but not too much fruit because it's a lot of sugar in fruit, and obviously he's got a little bit of a belly. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, baby. I'm sorry. That's it. I'll make you jump.
Why do they like to smell a log? Did you say that?
Smell a log.
I don't know what you mean, Loretta. Sorry. Probably something Mark said.
Oh, do you know, once it comes out, I've got no idea.
Does Oscar have a mate? No, so
No.
they're quite happy on their own.
They prefer
And,
to be on their own.
Because the lady that had him before, where he was really aggressive, she had another one as well. So we're just thinking might be aggressive because he could smell another one. So we just keep him on his own, and he's quite happy. He's got our company.
It was
of course.
quite a long decision for us though, because he was so aggressive. We weren't sure if we had the time for him. We thought it was probably going to be a very big project to take on another aggressive animal and build up trust. So we weren't really sure if we could give him the time that it sounded like he obviously needed. I have to say, I mean, it took a day, I think.
But they're all asking now who he wants to win on Strictly.
Bill.
Well, definitely not Maisie.
And I don't
Definitely
really like
not
Harvey.
Harvey. So it has to be Bill.
I think that only leaves Bill, doesn't it?
I think Oscar's favourite's already gone out.
I just like the older
so
people. I
sadly.
don't really like watching it. I think the young ones find it a bit easy, don't they?
Yeah, so
I like someone more
Oscar is
my
a bit
age.
disappointed in this series.
Yeah, we liked Ranveer and the Radio 1 girl, didn't we?
Yes.
So, would anyone be brave enough to get farted on? I mean, hold Oscar. Because he's a beautiful boy and he loves a cuddle.
He's very heavy.
Was
though.
somebody asking if he has a mate because they were interested in a date? because this isn't a hookup live.
Megan is asking, what's Oscar's favourite fruit? So he loves banana, apple. He's quite good with his vegetables, actually.
He loves the frittata.
Yes, he does like a nice omelette with some bugs in it.
Yeah.
Very disgusting. Right, we have got one more animal left, haven't we?
Yes.
The suricat, or suricata in Spanish, or meerkat in English. See them already up there.
Who's literally trying to pull my toe off
Let's see.
while I'm trying to put Oscar away.
He's been a pull through the bars. So with this one, I have to sit back a little bit because we've got 3 meerkats here. Bonnie is our boss, our alpha female, because girls are always the boss with meerkats. But sadly, although I've worked most of her life with her, when she turned about 1.5, she turned into an alpha female, and that meant she hated everyone but Mark. She only likes Mark now.
That's like a lot of the animals, to be fair.
Yes. Yeah, so I need to stay away a little bit. He is fully grown now, by the way, Oscar, yes.
Yes, thank gosh. We don't want to get any bigger. He'll take over the house.
If he lives his whole life, what size will he be? Yeah, he won't get any. Oscar won't get any bigger.
No, he's actually very big for a skunk already.
Well, maybe like grows in width, like us.
No, because he's starting to look like. Do you want to smell me?
CJ and Oscar would like to cuddle Oscar. I want to know, Oscar, are you as smelly as our Oscar? Because boys normally are quite
Ask
smelly.
Mum if you're as smelly as a skunk.
Yes.
I'm sure she.
Oh, does he smell a lot? Not smell a lot. Sorry.
Oh, smell. He does. He does. Well, my sense of
He
smell
is quite smelly, but
non-existent,
it's most people that have him on their lap think like, yeah, you can smell him, but it's not
a lot
too
of
bad.
people
to
say
be
he's very like a ferret.
Yeah, I personally think ferrets are a bit worse. But
I think it also depends if he's just done a poo, because his poos
yes,
are
poos are disgusting.
massive. They're like bigger than human poo, and they're really smelly. So if he's just done a poo, and the other day he had diarrhea all over me, didn't he? Yesterday, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, not great.
Yes.
It was literally like yellow waterfall of poo.
Sarah Clark saying, I think my spaniel actually is a meerkat in disguise. I assume it jumps up with its legs like this. So yes, he's just seen Mark, and she always needs to tell it, say hello. So how meerkats say hello is kind of like rubbing their chin on you, and then send them as well to say like, you're mine.
Would you like to say hello to some people? You can't.
So Bonnie is our oldest one. She's about 3 years old now, isn't
Four
she?
at Christmas.
4.
I
Oh
thought
my
so.
gosh, time goes quick. Yeah, I think actually he's 4.
On your hand.
No, sorry.
She
just,
hates you. Hey, yes, I'm still here. She likes to nibble my nose though, if you see the big scar on my nose.
Yes.
She likes to play, and meerkats play with their teeth. So I don't get off completely scot-free. She does think I'm...
Megan is saying her Oscar is smelly too.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Aren't all Oscars?
Hello. I know, it's a horrible hat, isn't it, Bonnie? Look, she's in disgust at the... Let me take my hat off.
So yeah, we got 3 meerkats, and we had 2 girls. And then last year we got a boy as well, and normally a young boy would easily be added to 2 girls.
Yeah, on paper it was going to work like a dream. In reality, it was a horror story, wasn't it?
It was.
It really
yes.
was. So Bonnie loves him, but Mika, who is our other meerkat that has, she hasn't got a tail because her mum bit it off when she was a baby. Really mean mum. She hates Louis. I know.
Hannah's first word was hello to a meerkat.
Ah, you're my kind of person.
That's nice.
What was your first word?
Why doesn't she like Jerry?
She doesn't like anybody, even though she's known all of us, and my sister as well. She's known us all her whole life, because she arrived when she was very young, and she just turned. That's quite. Oh, I know she's shouting at him now. That's quite common.
Hello. Like, oh, dangerous.
Me.
Have they had babies? No. So
we never breed.
We don't like to breed
We've had a
normally.
few accidents over the years where, especially with mice, where we thought it was a boy and.
It's mostly the small animals, isn't it? Because they're very difficult to sex.
I know.
But yeah, so we like to rescue animals, but because it's really difficult to introduce meerkats to each other, and meerkats like living in big groups or bigger groups than two. Or Louis lives practically on his own, although we are with him a lot, and
He's with
shares
me all
his
day
time
normally.
with Louis is a young boy. So he's sometime with Bonnie, sometime with us,
He has
but
3
he
hours
should
with
have
Bonnie.
his own little mob. So we're going to try, because Bonnie is the one that likes him. That's actually quite good for us, because in a group of meerkats, only the alpha female, the boss, can have babies. And so Bonnie would be the one having babies. And she really likes Louis. So it all works out kind of on paper again. You never know in practice.
Louis, I have to say, Louis is not that keen.
Louis is still a little bit young, so he's not too sure about it yet, but Bonnie is ready for it. And if they would have babies, then the boys can live with Louis and the girls can stay with the mum, with Bonnie, which would be good. So we're hoping maybe somewhere next year.
As you can see, Bonnie is my favourite.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Have they had babies? No, not yet. We know she leaves scars, Dean says.
Who does?
Ellie. Do you know?
What, because of my nose? Yeah, I did get a photo on our. We've got a private Facebook group, and I put some photos of my nose after it kind of. Bonnie had been playing with me, shall we say, and playing quite rough, and I didn't realise at the time, but yeah, there was quite a lot of blood. It doesn't hurt. She's just.
Oh, Jane
playing.
said Bonnie, you mean my sister. No, we mean this Bonnie.
No, Bonnie's lovely.
Your Bonnie is lovely, Jane.
She's a princess. Are you smelling my hair? Are you smelling my hair?
Yes, it's really nice. So they're omnivores as well. They eat actually the same things as the skunks. So every day they get some bugs, and then some meat or vegetables and fruits. They particularly like banana as fruit. They like cucumber. They're not too keen on, although Bonnie is alright, but our little boy is not too keen on his vegetables, is he?
No, Bonnie. Bonnie's pretty good actually with her food, I think. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
We do always think when we see
What?
meerkats on TV, they're,
But they're
so
nice
thin,
and thin, and
ours
ours
are very fat.
But
But
the
then they
thing
live
is,
outside.
Yeah, and English winters are a little bit different to the. Is it Serengeti?
Kalahari.
Kalahari?
Nearly.
I'm nearly there.
What is meerkat in French? So it's suricat. So Suricate. I hope I say that right. I'm not very good in my.
I also
in my-
silly cat. You were saying.
Silly, no, Suri.
Okay. Probably why I failed French.
Yeah. Was that all our animals for
That's
today?
all of our animals.
And